Cardinals and their fans used to winning. They've done that for, well, they won 101 games last year. To use Francisco Lindor and other great speed. Here's the lineup. So here we go, and this is going to be the pace. And the first pitch is swung at, and that's LeCastro sending it into left field. Look over at LeCastro, and the first pitch he throws is an attempted bunt. And got to begin that delivery with 8 seconds on the clock. And this one up the middle should be 2. Nice flip. Very long, but it's certainly something that's changed at the ballparks. And every stretch past 3 hours. The next one to Alonso, that's high. 4 pitch.
Once the hitter's in the box, you can make him wait a little bit.
First, think about walk-up song, etc. And that's fouled off.
Change speeds. Pitchers have always been.
Perhaps saw Max Scherzer as this one is blooped into left field. It's going to get down. This is Mark Vientos. He's the third baseman. And that one is up to the
collision.
That's very aggressive early in this one. And that for
more athleticism.
Yeah.
Rather than a ground ball hit right at a guy in the shift.
It's very athletic with Gorman, Donovan. High hopper to third, and the force play at third from Brendan Donovan. Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Gorman. Alda Young, who has changed a little. 28 games in the area of 383. That's feel very
or first in line.
High lefty on left. Vientos is definitely shaded towards shortstop, and that one is slapped the other way. I mean, this is clearly a left-handed hitter, so both field. This one is right at Jose Peraza. Former Yankee throws to Alonso for the out.
All pitchers.
Lars Nootbaar next up, swings at the first one and pops that up.
For Lars Nootbaar before he...
It's a big deal, isn't it, for him to...
Nootbaar. He's 25 years old. Heels on the dirt. You can see how close he is to the outfield grass. Good pitch there. And the first one to Goldschmidt. For a while at P, until he broke through last year on a year in.
Carl, there's so much club right now.
Slow roller, Peterson, feed. Goldschmidt retired. Very good inning for David Peterson. There weren't a lot of bad swings last year as Alvarez fouls that off with your MVP.
Just sat down with all the coaches and we kind of talked over the season. So we're still competitors, though. I still don't like it, but yeah, I'd rather do that now. You know, he's one of my best friends, and you know, we're talking basically guys on the team like that, but especially me and Nolan.
Yep, 3-2. Alvarez swinger that would throw over. What's your initial impression of all the rule changes?
Pitch clock is going to take some getting used to. So
a little bit towards them.
That's a good question. I don't know. The rest will tell us it's good. So who knows what's going to happen? But just trying to take as much as
DeGorme 2 on, and that one is up the middle, and it's going to get through into center field. Massive season. And the first pitch a little high.
They know.
Okay.
But also, you watched Tiger putt a couple weeks ago. He's got this.
No, DeGorme is at first. LeCastro is halfway down the line at third base.
I'm going to do it and then win at Torrey Pines about a month ago. So that kind of convinced me to see it.
This ball driven straight away, center field.
Big league Wago.
Yeah, Eduardo came to me mid-game, or mid. You know what? This is going to be about the big. That's how I am, and I'm right on the edge. You know, it's at its height. So that's usually no fly zone, but between innings and between batters. So
it raised this possibility.
Oh, this is trick the manager.
No. Of maybe
hits with the shift. But I think you'll see some things. I think I'm going to try to keep our AA, AAA guys around as long as I can. Our manager and coaches.
Next one to Mark Vientos. That one is yanked outside. But the Mets in camp with the new faces.
Well, it's been great. You know, we lost. Oh boy, come on. But we're excited about the possibility. We think we've improved our bullpen, and that's exciting for all of us. Oh boy, let's go.
Yeah, sure. Shot to right field. Carlson won't be able to get that. It's now at the plate. You talk about power. There's one that is dived by Goldschmidt to first. Week of spring training action. Eduardo Perez, David Cohen, Carl Rabbit experienced in a couple of years. Are you feeling that?
Absolutely.
Tough hop there.
That's a real tough hop right there. Definitely field right now. What he's able to do defensively is impressive. His arm, good. Feel free to take it, but most of these guys are going to give it another day or two before they start running.
Runner. So he can throw over again. And then the third time he throws over.
Other rules that are coming into play, but this is one that we talked about, and we got our minor league staff to.
That one's fouled off. So I've heard from a few people that
We'll start tracking and seeing, ooh.
yeah, hit well right center field off the bat of Donovan.
Man, it's fun when you see these guys. They go into the offseason with something twice now where he's just really taken a strong swing and got the.
This year, spring training is, Ollie, an audition. You guys have so much.
And the outfield is wide open, and we're going to give everybody a shot to compete. And
Seems like the Cardinals are a step ahead of the curve in terms of having minor leaguers.
This is Nolan Gorman. Runner is going, and the throw down to second.
great experience for them, but we're not concerned with their ramp up at all at the moment.
Of 2020, and he brought in Billy Epler. One of the first things he did to.
That your predictive models are driving you to, but you know, we understand expectations because they got a lot to lose, right? They get those numbers wrong. They got a lot.
Did they not?
They probably did. Yeah, I would think so. So I tend to.
Goes, he's at third base.
Some of the front office will, you know, that can be some water cooler talk, for lack of a better word. Value in a number of ways. So if we're just talking about position play.
Part of the plan.
You know, I got
The Braves. You know, does that get you charged up?
You know, it's exciting.
There. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen from the early days?
Oh wow.
Daniel Lenardi. They get Florida State at 7 o'clock Eastern time, and then
You heard a lot about the hedging, a lot of.
Here's as the Mets owner, there's some question among other owners. Is he just a crazy spender?
bargaining agreement. Maybe the rules need to be adjusted again.
Well,
Team. As Nino gets into this one, center field. Nootbaar going back on the prospects in Major League Baseball is Francisco Alvarez, and a shot to right field that sends Carlson back, and he's able
Center, you can get Giancarlo's.
delivery. And the ground to short.
At the top of the draft, moving them through the minors quickly. I think that whole process is getting time, and they all look like a version of, you know, Corey Seager or Carlos Correa all in the same class. That now he's knocking on the door in the big leagues, and him messing around on the mound is not as much of an option for a more diverse experience, which I think with, you know, everyone going into on the field doing all the shifting.
And this one to right center field. That's sending out.
And the other question is he doesn't lift the ball quite as much as some of these huge home run hitters, so he's a.
Put it to Major League Baseball and the Players Association. One thing they really get.
Those four guys, but sort of a full roster, you kind of wonder, is there going to be a lost year in AAA where maybe they'd be in the big leagues for a less talented team?
Easter sauce and the chicken and broccoli. There you go, Carlson, gap shot.
so you might see the Mets bat boy on the road this year.
Yep.
Forward.
And Jordan Walker's part of that. This one on the ground, fielded, and
They do change.
You know, we had Billy Epler in here last half.
Sort of helps, but, you know, ideally you're trying to solve all your problems internally. I mean, obviously, you know, his first couple outs were solid, and so was that.
So we're good. As a first baseman, how do you think the rules limiting kickoff?
Hard going in the morning, and right after that I would do my baseball activity. And
Becoming a good hitter, not just a slugger.
Taylor Motter, who was born right down the road in West Palm. Brett Beatty, first time up for the New York Mets, swing and a miss, and a really nasty.
For contact became in vogue again.
Alex Ramirez swinging bunt.
Their play at first base.
Hayden Singer sends this.
Be the other half of that then. How big? What's the weight?
I am currently 2.
And Tim Kirkjian, how old were you when you dunked?
When I dunked my first.
Your third base.
Tackle and wind direction, all that stuff.
Oh, so he's going out deep.
Light up, and you're like, oh my gosh, like yeah, that would work. That would be different.
Used to having extra time in between pitches.
Gomez rips this to left field. It's going to get down. That's going to. Does it change?
I'm not sure it's all that dramatic. One.
There's the strikeout that he go right back up the middle off the glove, and it's fielded by the short.
Game going by quickly, but even in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning of tight games, in the
Song now for Edwin Diaz. Is there going to be time for him to get in the game?
So 95 wins. Half game ahead of the Braves. Phillies 89. Cardinals winning by 5. Runner goes.
You're out in center field, running him down and get him on a 1-year.
Certainly would suggest they could win more.
Baker hits one high and deep to left.
If I were to tell you 24.5, would you go over or under? Grounded here, 3-1.
To the Baker 3-run shot, the Cardinals bat. You're losing, in a sense. No, but sit there and count down, and I don't see that being an issue.
For time. Now the hitter was at his mercy.
Paheads. Major League Baseball would like to see that dramatically change. You said a whole bunch. I don't think anybody would argue that the money that that one is matters. Oh, you just snuck. Tidy 2 hour and 59 minute.